Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Battle video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the Earth Protecting Flash Super Saiyan 2 Gohan Youth LR and just how good he is after his Extreme Z Awakening. I have him with one dupe in the Hidden Potential system, so we'll definitely be able to take a look at that. He is a Movie Heroes category Key plus 4 HP attack and defense 150% and an additional 100% for super tech types Key plus 4 HP attack and defense. Greatly raises attack and defense for one turn, causes colossal damage to the enemy, and greatly lowers defense. On his 18 key, he raises attack, greatly raises defense, both permanently, and causes mega colossal damage to the enemy whilst massively lowering defense. Overall, he looks pretty solid from a super attack perspective. Massively lowering defense does help. There are a couple bosses now where they basically are having them have like 3, 4, 5, 6 million in terms of the raw defense, and so having having like all of this is very important. Attacking defense of 200%, receives an additional key plus 2 per key sphere obtained, launches an additional super attack, transforming crit up 20%, and randomly changes key spheres of a certain type to tech. All of this is fine, it's solid. Tech type key orbs definitely needed. 2 key definitely helps because of how important key is to his passive, and then his crit chance of 20% is fine when you consider all the other factors. For 4 turns from the start of his entry, he has guard all attacks and damage reduction 30%. The reason he's got this is mainly to give him like some kind of defensive base while he's still building his defense up and while you're still setting up your rotations around him. It doesn't take too long to get his defense going. You have 2 or 3 attacks and he'll be sitting at like that 900,000, 1 million mark for raw defense, which is fine when you consider how his passives and everything work. So it's definitely not like, terrible or anything, but it's just one of those situations where he doesn't need the defense for more than that, in theory, provided you get everything set up properly, if you know what I mean. So then, for every key sphere obtained, attack and defense up of 10%. This makes him, although not a large amount, this does make him traditionally a nuking unit. The more orbs he gets, the better it's going to be. So that'll be good to go. And then when attacking with 12 or more key, he gets 100% attack and defense up. When attacking with 18 or more key, he gets attack up 100%. He then gets a further attack up of 159% and transforming crit when HP is 58% or less. He gets attack of 159% up further and chance of critical hit up 20% starting from the 5th turn from battle. Defense up of 159% and transforming crit when there's another Movie Heroes category ally on the team, or when there is a Hybrid Saiyans category ally in the same turn. And defense up another 159%, crit up another 20%, when there is an ally whose name includes Goku on the team, or if there's another youth category ally in the same turn. This means basically, without considering the health requirement, if you meet all the other requirements, he has 80% crit chance, which is pretty good. If you meet the health requirement, he obviously gets 100% crit, and then he hits like an absolute truck, which is pretty cool. The big thing with him though is that these requirements, although they seem like a lot on paper, 5th turn, HP, Movie Heroes, there's always a caveat to them, or a replacement for them. So, have a Movie Heroes, on the team. Okay, cool, no problem. Don't want to have a Movie Heroes? Just have a Hybrid Saiyans in the same turn. Have a Goku on the team. Don't have a Goku on the team, but a youth character in the same turn. It's not necessarily always the perfect way of going around it, but it is something that players can do to mitigate some of the conditional restrictions that he's got. Super Saiyan, Saiyan Warrior Race, Gaze of Respect, all in the family, prepared for battle, sharing the limit and legendary power. Completes a pretty solid link skill set. In categories All Out Struggle, Bundle Master and Disciple, Bundle Parent and Child, Demonic Power, Earthward Fighters, Earth Protecting Heroes, Entrusted Will, Exploding Rage, Full Power, Goku's Family, Hybrid Saiyans, Miraculous Awakening, Movie Heroes, Power Beyond Super Saiyan, Powerful Comeback, Super Saiyan 2, Tournament Participants, and Youth are their categories. That kind of pretty much surmounts it. Honestly speaking, he is just a really solid unit. He is definitely a second slot damage dealer. It's not like he is a tank in any way, shape or form. He can be tanky post super, but that's what makes him second slot. Ideally, he is just kind of your traditional second slot damage dealing unit. And with Hybrid Saiyans being a team that currently just got a bit of love, and with him linking up really well with that Int Gohan, the new Int LR Gohan, it means that he has a little bit of room to kind of shine. He links up well with Strength Gohan, the Kamehameha LR, he links up well with the Int Gohan, so it's a good time for him to kind of come make a maneuver and showcase himself for that team. Not to mention he also can have most of his conditions met by the Super Saiyan Goku Angel and Vegeta Angel, the AGL character, so he has some pretty decent room to kind of be a very solid option. Ultimately, that is what I suggest players use him for. A second slot damage dealer that can be a very, very, very good unit and can be very, very helpful overall in terms of kind of just setting things up for his team as a priority damage dealer. Orbs do matter for him, so obviously depending on how many orbs, you will see a very, very, very significant difference in his attack. But he also has a lot of multipliers, so it's not like, it's just that going on. He has a lot happening, which does help out. At the end of the day, it's a very, very, very solid unit, and I think he is pretty good. Obviously the caveat is that you need a first slot tank to go with him, but I think when you consider everything that is involved, and I think when you consider everything that the unit does, I think there's a pretty good kind of setup for him, which I think is really solid. At the end of the day, I'm happy with the EZA. I do think they kind of stuck to his original design, and I think that's fine. He was always the unit that when everything came right, he would hit tremendous attack stats, and that is still the same. So he feels a lot like your kind of TNs, General Taos, etc., and that's more than fine. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with anything that they've done here. So I think from that point of view, from the construct point of view, from everything, I think it's a very, very good unit, and I think personally he's got an absolute amazing amazing situation. So I think that's pretty much it from me. Honestly, I think that pretty much covers it, so without really kind of going into anything else, I think that's everything you need to know. So as always, take care, stay safe, and bye.